sketchy. But this all takes place after Oliver's death. Right? Whoever it is that he's talking to on the phone, and we don't know who he's talking to, but whoever he's talking to, he says, what are they really going to do? Right? Anybody tries anything, and they're ending up like Oliver Queen. You saw what Hammond did to him. Now, this person responds, and then, of course, that leads to Jamal answering back. Are you kidding? Right? I wanted to watch. It was the least Hammond could do after I gave $300 million to that political action committee of his. Queen took my company. And so that's when he's presumably asked about the new security detail. And he says, yeah, the guards are Hammond's personal stock. Totally ex-military. Like legit killers who's toppled governments. One of them, in hearing this, takes a sense of pride in it, right? The guy kind of smiles. And immediately dies. He gets shot in the head with an arrow like that. At that point, Jamal's like, what in the hell? Right? And like the dying starts. Because in that moment, he drops the phone. We don't get to see who it was that he was talking to. He runs out of the room, and everyone in the other room is dead. These guys are dead as doornails, right? And it's no small thing either. It's not like it was done with any kindness or compassion. No, it's a bloodbath in there. And at that moment, some guy just calls out to him, right? And he says, Mr. Slade, stay back. Because when Jamal looks over, this guy's face is mutating. Now, at first thought, my idea was, oh my God, is this how we end up getting like Absolute Beast Boy or something like that? No, we actually find out what this is later on. So I'm sorry to break hearts. This is not how we get Absolute Beast Boy, and we kind of don't if we did. But this guy makes a break for it. That's literally all he can do. Like, he just makes a break for it and starts calling out, whoever you are, I will pay whatever you want. Like, just tell me what it is that you want. And that's where Green Arrow appears behind him and just says, an example, and kills this guy on the spot. Now, this is why I say this comic is a serial.
Oh, look at the colors of this comic. Woo! Wow, what a beautiful comic book.
Not this part. What comes next? Because at that moment, we get a news broadcast, right? And they say details are still unreleased concerning the death of billionaire Jamal Slade, a tech entrepreneur best known as the co-founder of the electronic trading platform Green Arrows Trade, which is clearly a real-world stand-in for Robinhood. And there is actually a way to build that bridge. Of course, Robinhood, being the trading platform, gets its name from the different character. But with Green Arrow, Oliver Queen, there came a point in DC Comics when he was basically billed as a Robin Hood-esque character. And that was a name you would see
The art program is Procreate.
referred to occasionally within DC Comics. So that's how you kind of get this bridge between the two. But the news segment continues on. Like Jamal Slade made headlines after his public feud with Green Arrow's co-founder, Oliver Queen, leading Slade to leave the billion-dollar company. He most recently became the subject of controversy after numerous allegations of SA resurfaced. And that's where you have another guy, right, chiming in on all this. I'll probably get shadow banned again, but is anybody else sick of corporate media talking about Jamal Slade's allegations of misconduct? Like multiple women accused him of SA, running creating rumors that he was trafficking. Now, that's the thing we actually learned in Absolute Evil, that Jamal Slade was effectively Epstein in the Absolute universe. And so that's why the general public's response is like, yeah, we're not.
I'm using the glass. I don't have what do they call it? Paper like. There's no texture. It's just the glass. I'm drawing on the glass directly.
Really sad about this guy being made to take a short drop from the sun spot. Because you have nothing over against that, right? That face with a local human trafficker with multiple allegations gets unalive, and you're supposed to feel bad. The internet's making memes out of it, right? And again, that's Oliver Queen, co-founder of Green Arrows Trade, the stock app. His recent murder was unsolved, and now, less than a year later, his ex-partner is murdered too. Guys, we really don't think there's a bigger story here, right? So this leads to the conspiracy theorists coming up as with any social media platform, content.
No, I didn't take a sketch. I actually sketched it over here. Let me show you. I sketched everything over here. Um, Let me show you the time lapse. I just sketch on the platform and draw. So I have like a sketch, a rough sketch like this. And then most of the times I'll just refine the sketch before I actually begin applying inks. But over the past two illustrations, I've not been refining the sketch. So what that does is that it makes me, I do make a lot of errors whenever I'm inking. So I have to like do a lot of editing and adjustments like when I'm inking. Uh, so yeah, it's just direct sketch and then inking, direct sketch and then inking. So that's the process.
There's just hopping on trends, trying to get to the good so often and moving on to the next one. And so at this point, we switch over to a woman who anyone that's familiar with Green Arrow is going to immediately recognize. But I will say, in this story, she's more badass than she's ever been in DC Comics, right? So, we get this commentary, I don't know, but she says, this study in Berkeley found that making people think about money by just innocently sitting there near a screensaver showing dollar bills had an anti-social effect. It made them less invested when helping an assistant who dropped things near them. Another study shows people trying to figure themselves as upper class are more likely to take candy from a jar labeled for kids, more likely to take candy from babies. Essentially, like us, right? What matters here is she's working as a bodyguard. And then there's some crazy fan here.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the compliment. Thank you. Are you an artist as well? Do you draw? You sound like you work traditionally rather than digitally.
Who pushes her out of the way. And it's like you're standing in the way. So, of course, she turns around and helps this guy understand his place in the bigger picture. I've given it a heyday, which ultimately gets her suspended from her job. And so that's when you find out she's talking to a therapist here. But she's not talking to just any therapist. She's talking to Dr. Annie Green. Now, Dr. Annie Green is OG in DC Comics. She goes all the way back to the 80s. When she was really young, she endured her own horrific experience. She was kidnapped, she was tortured. This was back during the era in the Green Arrow comics, we often saw a lot of the stories dealing with real world tangible events. It's one of the things that made Green Arrow so iconic from the Dennis O'Neil Neil Adams run. Going forward for a number of years, NBC, I still there's a fly when it turned out that Ray Harper was taking drugs, different things like that. Right? And that's what's going on here. So you can easily see why this comic is so.
Oh, you have an iPad and a pen. Oh yeah, okay. You mean like you just do it like for as a hobby? It's something you're interested in, but like you've not really settled down to delve deep into it. I understand. This entire thing is. Hey, Adgod, how you doing? Hope you're having a wonderful day. How's your family? How's everyone doing? How's your comic? You said you were back to working on your comic book. How's it going?
Probably the best depiction of the absolute universe so far. Because we don't believe this woman is Dinah. This is Dinah Laura Lance. It's Black Hair. And the conversation between the two, much like it was in the main DC universe when Dr. Green surfaced appearance to Black Hair, that whole aspect being carried over here in the new universe. Dinah Lance just kind of says, I guess the pop star's like sort of making fun at her own situation. It's the way in which she deals with her trauma. And Andy's just kind of like, it'd be easy to find out if she did. Like you said, you're allowed to talk to your clients, to share your thoughts. And Donna just kind of brushes it off. She doesn't really want to have anything to do with it. But it's not because of the fact that she's antisocial or anything like that. There's actually a motivation behind it. Because Annie says last time we talked about how all of this.
Yeah, there's no problem, Asgard. It's chill. It's chill. It's chill. Hope things are going well on your end. I wasn't able to go live yesterday because I just wasn't feeling like it, to be honest. Whenever I wake up early in the morning, not early in the morning, late in the daytime, because most of the time I do wake up at around like 10, most cases 11 a.m. I honestly want to like hop on and just do a stream, but then life just gets in the way, and before you know it, it's um it's 9 p.m. in the night, and most of the time it can just be like a bit of a difficulty to just hop on and go on stream. Like like if you've ever tried to work out, it's quite difficult to get yourself to go to the gym or like set up your mattress and actually exercise. That's kind of how it is. But when you're actually doing the activity, you actually find out that you're having a lot of fun and you wouldn't want to stop. So that's just kind of how it is most of the time. Yeah, so I understand, my brother. I just hope your comic book is going well. Oh yeah, okay, they are going well. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Very late. Um I do wake up very late in the daytime. I do sleep most of the time. I sleep around like 4 a.m. or 3 a.m. Like once I'm done with this, I won't just go to sleep like straight. I'll still have to. I have a lot of work to do, so I'm just going to sort that out. I like to make myself believe that time slow. Oh, you'll be writing GCE this year. Well, that's good news. Means you're moving up. Means you're graduating. Yeah, I'm wishing you good luck on your exam. Wishing you a lot of success. A lot of people have actually come to the stream that are having exams. Like I would say like 50% of the people that come to the stream, they are always having exams. Like a lot of them. I guess it's graduation year for a lot of people.
Be connected to what happened to your butt. And that's where Johnapexart off and just says, "Do you want to know my thoughts? I read online about this professor who studied neuroscience. He found having more money tends to suppress the mirror neuron system, the part of our brain that allows us to put ourselves in someone else's shoes, to empathize. And why should they? The rich always get what they want. So when I work for the obnoxiously wealthy ones, I try not to care too. I just shut up and do my job. She's so disconnected from the people she protects because the concern is that if she started to care about them, she would become one of them. And that's what's so interesting. Right? It's a whole different take for how her character operates. Historically, in the main DC universe, she was a vigilante who came from a family of cops and didn't belong to her own hands, modeling herself after her mother because she's the second black man. Her mom was the first. We don't know if that's the case here in this new absolute universe. But still, Danny asks her, does it make you angry that you cannot do more? And the response of Dinah, I'm just tired. I'm just tired of it. I'm tired of seeing the ultra wealthy and the ultra powerful get everything they want to, while everybody else is just made to suffer. And Annie says in the last session, you used the word numb. And Dinah says, sure, numb is a good word. And so that point, Annie tells me, if you hate your work, you can't quit. It's not that simple. Right? In fact, Dinah says that, right? Like, in physical find somebody else the money tree in the backyard. And Eddie asked her, is it worth being miserable? But you said that you made decent money as an MMA fighter. And while that does seem to be true, it also seems to be really dumb. The black and Derek was an MMA fighter, to be honest, because she just looks over off to the side and just says, not decent enough. Right? And that's when you find out that Mary Lance, her father, is struggling because Annie had tried to count her father and kind of just has his team to the defense. But insurance barely covers half of them, but we save with me living at home again. And seemingly, she takes all the money that she makes and puts it towards whatever other care insurance doesn't cover for her father. And she said, the money going to get paid well by this world's got a ton of rich jerks, so I just suck it up. And I do it all for dad. Of course, now I'm suspended, but there's this sister firm offering me some special assignment, and I have no idea what it is. But I guess we'll find out when I meet this Malcolm Merlin guy. Now, historically speaking, in the PPC universe, Malcolm Merlin is one merchant, right? And this guy is like the main of Oliver Queen. So it's actually kind of cool the way that he's presented here, because when Dinah shows up to his office, he says, your file says that you are former Stark City police turned rising MMA fighter. No doubt you lasted longer than 60 or 17 seconds. Dinah, legendary Lance, turned executive protection specialist. Like that. And so she's given a dossier, essentially. And she's like, you want me protecting him? I got suspended guarding a pop star. It just tells her this Lance, did you talk to Oliver Queen before he died? Or did you all slave? And she asked the question, like, I haven't talked to either since we were neighbors. And that's for this guy that she's protecting. Right? This comes over a comment about her basically being offered a job at a sister firm. And she says apparently the promotion that this sister firm is offering is to protect one of America's most loved men. Tyler Pharmaceuticals made billions covering up the highly addictive nature of their opioid-based meds, resulting in 1 million deaths and 5 times as many addictions until a class action lawsuit. But CEO Reese Taylor filed for bankruptcy, letting his billionaire friend Hector Hammond buy out his assets and install Tyler as the new head of Hammond Pharmaceuticals. Tyler avoided a settlement and profited off the lawsuit. The rich were bailing out the rich. And so, as far as this question goes, had she talked to Jamal Slade or Oliver Queen before they died, she actually gives us a little bit of a flashback here. It jumps back 8 years before all of this started when she was meeting with Oliver Queen. And this conversation that they're having at that, he says, did you know if 1% of Americans want a bill passed, there's a 30% chance Congress will pass it, and if 0% want a bill passed, there's still a 30% chance that Congress will pass it. And that is that's because there's no cap on how much corporations can spend on lobbyists or election influence, which Oliver Queen was going to say, which seemingly this is something that he said repeatedly. So she just kind of learned it, or maybe she already knew, right? But she says, only moved into the apartment next door. He was an annoying, self-righteous loudmouth who wouldn't shut up. We were dating each other. At that point, Jamal Slade walks in. Now, keep in mind, Jamal Slade is now becoming this Epstein type guy. But 8 years before all of that, he was not that guy. But literally, he comes in and he just says, I didn't see anything. Dude, like, I promise, I didn't see anything. Right? And that's where all is just like, dude, you gotta learn to talk, man. You can't just bust into people's rooms like that. But he tells Ollie, right? Like, I think I've got a prototype of the app. And Ollie's like, already? Yeah. And that's when he starts to fill in Dinah about it. He's like, I told you about.
Sometimes you're just drawing and you just hate what is coming out of your brain. Like it's just not working the way you want it to work. That is exactly what is happening here. And I know I could just like just go along with it and just find a way, use shadows and stuff to make it look good. Well, this is one of the problems you get when you don't like do a second pass, and I've said this a couple of times, but that's the truth. Like if you don't do a second pass on your drawing, you're going to find out the hard way that it might look like shit, and you might need to do a lot of editing. So that's essentially what's going on here, and I might have to do it very rough. I have to be very rough with it. All right. Do I have what I want? I think I do.
green arrows, right? It's my idea, but you all is the coding master. Is it easy to navigate stock trading now? It's not charge fees like online brokers do. And if we can add no account minimums, we can democratize trading. So at that point, you all just like, okay, like I'll let you guys get back to your exercise. Don't worry, I won't listen to anything. I put in headphones or something like that. The funny thing about it is Dinah's like, dude, that guy needs to go out, man. Like, you need to help that guy get a girl. And all it's just kind of like, I mean, I've tried. Like, he just stares at girls at parties and comes home angry that they don't talk to him. It's like, well, that's not happening. Like, look, I'm sorry. But the dude making the first move, that apple cart's never going to get upset. Right? You are going to have to do that. Put on your big kid pants, accept that that's how the game gets played, and go play it. And go get it. Like, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. That's what I want. Just sit around here. We're in the face of that. Dinah's just like, so you're going to start business with this guy, right? This dude is probably never seen movies. Most of his life. You're going to start business with him? That's probably not a very good idea. But all it does go back, like he says, we've been roommates since college. He's college.
Oh man, I hate this thing I'm drawing.
Like other people that have access to money. That's how real change starts. Working the system because redistributing wealth means redistributing power. And that's an accurate statement. But real change starts with money. It sucks, but that's the way the world works. So that's what Dinah says, right? All human beings wanted to make a difference in the world. And all forget, when he raised the financing for Paul's app, he was always able to convince people to take a chance. Like Green Arrow's trading app launched to over 250,000 signups within its first month. People hungry for a cheaper way to invest. Of course, by that point, I was long gone, having cut all for cheating on me. Because of course he was. 10 million users later, Oliver and Jamal had transformed the online brokerage industry and became millionaires. Only branded this logo was Green Arrows on everything, including the operations and some place. Most probably this made it easier to push Jamal out after the allegations began to roll in, because Ollie was still trying to do the right thing. So seemingly by this point in time, right, if these 8 years have passed, then that's when Jamal started using his money and resources to essentially become Epstein, right, the guy currying favor for the wealthy and the powerful. And so Diamond says, a few months ago, Oliver's dead body washed up on shore, his head bashed in. It was rumored that he was attacked on his yacht, but nobody really knew. I had built every online theory. You do that when your ex-boyfriend is a murdered player. Because once upon a time, I knew Oliver Queen better than he knew himself. But despite his many, many flaws, he always be a good man, trying to fight the good fight. Now again, that's what we got to pick up with everything happening in the comic book. No absolute evil, and that's it. And so in saying all of this, and initially coming off that conversation with Malcolm Merlin, she asked Malcolm, right, this.
How do I know when the lines have to be thick or thin? You do that by like using the understanding the direction of the shadows. So if the shadows are supposed to be, if lights, let's say you are drawing you're drawing this. I always use a cylinder because it's the simplest shape I can use to explain it. If you are drawing a cylinder like this and you know that there is just one light source and the light source is coming in this direction, right? It simply means that, and you also have to understand the intensity of the light as well. It's very important. So if the light is coming from the left, it means that this right side is going to be thicker than this left side. And if the light is very intense, it means that this side, these lines are going to be very thin. Most cases, you are not even going to see a lot of the light, a lot of the line. They are going to be extremely thin, like this, and then you're going to have this level of thickness in this area as well. So you just know by based on the light direction, and then you have this side very thick like this, and then of course you add shadows, and then you can then add the hatching lines like this. It's a very rough, it's a very rough stuff, but I hope you get the gist. That's essentially how shadows work. Over here, I'm not following that rule necessarily. My main goal at the moment is to get the shape of the character because I've been struggling with it for whatever reason. I don't know. Sometimes it seems like your brain might not be working well. So it seems like my brain is not working well. So my number one like goal right now is to get the figure correctly and make it look good. And once I fix that, then I can begin sorting out the light direction and things like that. But I already know where I want my light direction. The light direction on this lady over here is coming from this angle. The light is coming from this angle. So that is sort of like how I'm going to do mine. So basically the opposite of this Batman reference that I have here. Yeah.
Jobs related to Jamal's murder. The rich and the powerful were scared. They felt untouchable until someone touched them. And now they're terrified. And so that's what Malcolm says. We want to increase the protection detail around Tyler and my boss. And so that's when Dinah acts like a boss.
Thank you so much, George. Thank you, Jorge. Yes, Jorge. I said George. I remember when you first came to the channel and you messaged me. Yeah, it's Jorge, not George. Yeah. Honestly, when I was very young, I actually wanted to become extremely wealthy. But these days, I just want to make enough to take care of my family, man. Like, that's just my number one goal. To make enough money, like doing something I enjoy, um, to take care of my family. That's just the main goal these days. I don't really care about nothing else. If I can just be getting paid, like just to draw my characters and write my stories. That would be the best feeling ever. Yeah, definitely I will. It's just that I'm going to have to go through a lot of frustration, a lot of disappointments and things like that. It happens. That's just how it is. That's just life for you. That's just life for you, my brother.
That's your boss. Like, what does he think? This floor is targeting him. And we're supposed to not roll it. That's not our job. Right? It's not our job to ask questions. It's our job to provide protection. The principal thinks that they are in danger. We protect no matter what happens and what that danger is. And he says we've come through every executive protection specialist in our extended network looking for anyone with law enforcement experience.
Yes, it will. It definitely will. The thing about effort is that it compounds. Whether it's good or bad, whether like if you are consistent with something, whether that is a good behavior or bad behavior, it will compound over the years. And most of the time, you might not see the results now. Like I might be doing this live stream for like the next 2 years, and I might be getting steady growth because like my channel is growing, but not fast. It's not growing fast. Um, and it might be getting that little trinkle of growth every single day, even though it's not at the pace that I want. But eventually, maybe like 2 years from now, 3 years from now, even 6 months from now, even you could just see like a whole like the channel could just change, and you just see this huge amount of change that will just happen due to the efforts that you've put in. It's just how life works. You know, nobody's no everyone doesn't have the same path or the same road to success or their definition of success. The stream has strangely become philosophical. Yeah, it's nice talking with you, Jorge. Nice chatting with you, man.
To not just protect the client, but find this killer. So you're doing double duty. But you're serving as protection, but you're also watching your own investigation. You were suggested not only because you were police, but because you knew and Jamal Slade. And so that's when she starts to pick up the pieces. She's like, okay, and you think their deaths are related. You know what it was that killed Oliver? Killed Slade. Because they were both extremely powerful men. Now, we know that's not true, but they don't know that's not true. And so that's what she's told. Swipe to the next minute.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. There's this thing that I noticed in terms of like virtually everything, to be honest. Like when something becomes easy to access, when there is like easy accessibility to things, you discover that other things become a rarity. So for instance, now with the coming of this uh so-called AI, and like everyone is just pivoting to that direction. The thing is that real art will become a rarity, and the value of art or real artists will actually go up. But the thing there is that you have to be one of the best, because those are the ones that are going to get picked usually a lot of the time. So that is why, like anyone that's learning arts, I would advise them to keep learning. I would advise them to keep learning because I don't know. There's something Brandon Sanderson explained. I don't know if you know the guy. He's an author, and he was talking about like AI, the coming of AI, and he was explaining how there are music that are being created by AI that have actually made a lot of money or gotten a lot of traction, right? And what he talked about was that, yeah, definitely the AI is very effective, is very productive, but it doesn't have that human ingenuity and creativity to be able to think outside the box and tweak things in a different way, because there's something that learning does to a person. Like, I don't know how to explain it exactly, but it just sharpens your skill. It just sharpens your mind to think in a pattern that an AI can't exactly uh, uh, create. So, all right. So I think I have the structure I want. That took a minute. So now I'm just going to add the. Hello, Shaki. How you doing? I hope you are 100% better now. Your body, your health, the cold would definitely be off you. Mm, yeah, it's the same thing in every industry, Jorge. It's the same thing in every industry. Of course, just like with every technology, there are areas of the industry that it's going to actually facilitate and make a bit easier. But the thing is, like when there was a time when like traditional artists were looking at digital art and saying like, oh, this digital art thing is going to it's not real art, that type of stuff. But the thing is that learning the digital art itself is a skill, but the skill of actually being able to draw, actually being able to sketch, that doesn't go away. Yeah, it's still something that has to be learned. And if somebody that doesn't know how to sketch or draw takes up this technological device, which is an iPad or a drawing tablet or like a drawing software, and they don't know how to use it, despite the fact that it is a technology that aids with, that makes the whole drawing process a little bit more easier by saving resources, you know, they are not going to be able to do anything with it. So it's still a skill. There are parts of art that AI might facilitate, but it's not going to replace you. It's not going to replace the real creatives. You know, the people that actually sit down to work and create original ideas. I'm much better now, thanks. It was my birthday yesterday. Oh, happy birthday! And I didn't come live yesterday. Happy birthday, Shaki. Um, Wishing you many more years, many more successes, many more joy, many more love, many more peace, and many more character development for you and your family and all your loved ones. I hope you treated yourself to something nice. Uh, Maybe you went out with friends or something like that. I was trying to explain digital art to my mom, and she said, "Well, you're already good at drawing. You don't need it. You don't need it to do it for you." Exactly. That's the misconception. That's the misconception. They don't know it's just it's just like the same way there is a you have like a canvas, you have a donkey, you have an easel, or you have like a pen, or you have like a brush, or you have like a palette knife. You also kind of need and like a digital tablet, because you kind of, since especially if it's something that's going to be like a profession, you sort of need to understand the tools that the professionals in the industry use, so that when opportunities come, or when like you get a job or something like that, you can be able to be available for that. So yeah. Anyways, light direction coming from the left. Let me sort that out real quick. I can't lie, I'm not feeling this belt stuff that he has over here. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, you're welcome, Shaki. You're welcome. You're welcome.
On your tablet. And this is gruesome. So he tells her, right? Police responders found 12 Slade's murdered body tied up in his penthouse, riddled with cuts and impaled with two green arrows, the logo of his former company. In addition, his eyes were repeatedly stabbed, his fingers removed, with similar damage done to his parts down there. All the body parts that you all allegedly wouldn't keep off women under a certain age. And that's where Dinah, she's like, holy shit. Right? Like these other files, names attached to these photos, who were they? And that's what we end up reading. Right? Mia Dearden, Tom Howard. Now, she's told there are a list of suspects that their team put together. But historically speaking, in the ABC universe, we would analyze it all with me. White Harper was the first Steve and Red Arrow. Mia Dearden became the next one. Tom Halliday is actually a character called the Spider. He comes from a company called Holy Comics back in the 40s. They went belly up in the 50s when ANC went belly up in 1956. Do you guys know who else Holy Comics made? Crusoe. But you guys don't call him Quicksilver. You call him Max Mercury in the Flash comics. But the point is, like she's told, these are a list of suspects that my team threw together on work in progress. The details just leaked this morning with some social media accounts already celebrating. And I just kind of flabbergasted. Social media is celebrating torture, and not just tells by a trope of leaked emails also hit the internet. It details 26 accounts of SA that Slade was never held accountable for, but Reese Tyler's guilty of none of them. So you have to help us protect him. And so she just kind of rolls this all over. But a man who lied to profit off millions of addictions and deaths. Are these our options now? Are you more the monsters that we work for, or throw watch parties for their executions? And so she just says, I can't, but I cannot do this. I cannot in good conscience take this job. But in that moment, Hector Hammond and Reese Tyler walk in. And Reese just says, me and Hector wanted to come down and see how the task force was doing. Is that Dinah Lance? Like, Dinah Lance? Like, her reputation is stealing procedure. And he says, did Hector tell you that I found her in these files myself? All her Queen's ex-police officer girlfriend is a professional bodyguard, while we have a problem with Green Arrow's obsessed stalker. It's kind of kismet, right? It's almost like fate. And she says, actually, I cannot take the assignment. My dad's sick. And ultimately, Hector's like, what? Right? This is a man who is not used to be told no. And so in that moment, he says, no, why don't you hand me your tablet? Right? And that's when Hector starts going over it. And he says, so you became a bodyguard to help pay for your father's doctor bills, which she didn't even know that was in her file. And he's like, no, that's not me. They're grown up. This is what I'm talking about now. And he says, I'm guessing insurance covers only half of your father's bills. It's never enough, is it? But if you work for us, you'll never have to worry again. And she's like, really? And he says, except, oh no, Daddy just lost all his coverage. He can't pay for anything now. Hector Hammond deleted the guy's health insurance just to force his daughter to work for him. How sketchy could you possibly be? And she's like, why would you do that? And he's like, go home. No, go home and check. Make sure that we actually did what I said that we would do. Then take a selfie of your stupid pig face so you remember what a brain dead cow looks like when she refuses kind people making generous offers. And
Damn. Jesus Christ, man. Chill.
show up on Monday and be grateful that we are even paying you. And so when she gets home, she's there with her father. And that's when she gives us this tragic monologue where she says, Dad shook when he told me his insurance was canceled because he knew that I took the job protecting people who hated him. Right? My father's third generation police, being a cop is so in his blood. He married one too. I've never seen him so much as tremble. Not even after we learned everything Mom did, because too many wanted to watch him suffer, and us Lances do not dole out that kind of satisfaction. He doesn't believe me when I say that it's my fault, because he grew up believing what all good dads believe, that his only job is to make things easier for his kid. And if my life's harder because of him, and he failed in his only real responsibility, then all he wants is for his daughter not to see him cry. And so at that point, this is when we pick up with all hell breaking loose. Because Dinah says, well, I have to find a way out of this job as fast as humanly possible. Because these guys are insane. She says for months, they've been trying to crack the security of Oliver's doomsday bunker, his arrow camp. And on my first day, that's exactly what we're doing. They end up looking into the cliff, but there's something here that Hector Hammond wants. Seemingly we don't know what it is, but it is something important to him. And she says, whatever the hell they thought Ollie was hiding here is important enough for them both to personally come and look for it. We damaged the power lines for him yet. Fortunately, these idiots brought enough of their trained killers slash bodyguards to keep them safe. But in that moment, they start activating booby traps, and arrows start firing off all over the place. And in fact, Dinah actually ends up snatching one out of thin air when it almost hits Reese Tyler. And then, of course, she snaps it in half. But then they also realize what's going on because another guy had been hit by an arrow, and he starts to mutate because the arrows are poisoned. That's what happened in the first step at the beginning of the comic. Not only that, an arrow comes flying in with a grenade, hits a car, and explodes, and sends everybody flying. And in that moment, Green Arrow shows up here looking more dumb than I think anyone I have ever seen in the absolute universe. So, I mean, he looks incredible. He's like emblazoned with flames, right? Standing there like death incarnate, right? Like, you see this, and you immediately know your lifespan has just been cut down to minutes. Right? I mean, it's full on minutes. Right? And so Diane just tells herself, right? Like, you get up, you have to get up. You have to protect these guys. But in that moment, immediately, Green Arrow runs up on Hector Ham after having killed all the guys around him. And the whole time he's killing these bodyguards, Diana's watching, right? His form, his speed. Who the hell fights like this? What the hell is he? Right? This guy cannot be human. And so in that moment, Green Arrow finally catches up to Hector and says, you know what you did. All over me, right? You had him killed. But Hector just says, that wasn't me, right? I didn't kill him. It was Carter. But Green Arrow has no concern. He cuts off Hector Hammond's head right in that moment. It says, it doesn't matter. It's time you all finally face the consequences. And so at that moment, Dinah ends up grabbing her handgun, firing off at Green Arrow, who bleeds. Now, that's a telltale sign of what's going on here. He mowed through every single one of these bodyguards. Why would one more make any difference? The fact that he takes off tells us that on some level, he knows who Dinah is. So somehow he's associated with Oliver Queen. I know there's a lot of theories out there. Please don't spoil it down in the comment section, although I know some of you guys might. But there's theories abound out there as to who Absolute Green Arrow actually is. And so once he bails out, like Dinah just says, how the hell does this Green Arrow factor in to what happened with Oliver Queen being killed? Because the first time she's seen him, there was no evidence to show who this guy was or what was going on. And so she says, it was Hector Hammond. Like, not Detective's list of suspects, Harper, Deere, and Howard, is one of them green arrow, or none of them green arrow, right? Who is this guy? And she says, what I don't know what's more disturbing. Watching Emmett scream as he stares at his bloody slip of an arm after Phyllis just threatened to hack it into pieces, or knowing I'm smiling, watching this monster suffer as we pick up a little while later. And she says, after the fight and after Emmett's rushed to the hospital, Malcolm, Merlin, and I scour what's left for clues. I think about how Ollie would react to someone killing in his name with his symbol. Because I still remember all our talks about changing things from within and doing the right thing. But that's when they realize one of these walls is a fake wall. And Malcolm just says the explosion must have jarred loose. And so she says, residue showed no one's access to the ring it was, which means this must be what Emmett was looking for. The secret that Ollie did. The man who always tried to do the right thing. By working this system, he later verified the boy's body had clearly been dead for a while, although somehow not decomposed. Because when they get in there and they flip the body over, it's this kid's corpse covered in eyeballs, literally eyes, in his body. And she says, if only that was the strangest part, because she finds herself asking the question, what in the world Oliver Queen was up to? Having said that, all you hardcore DC aficionados, I have no clue who this kid is. No clue who this kid is, but I know way more about Marvel than I do about DC. So if you guys are huge DC fans, post comments down below and tell me who this kid is. I'm reaching out to you guys for this. Like, send it to me. With that being said, guys, we're going to do this for the end. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, drop a like. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you all later. Peace.
Oh, that was fun. Um, what does comics explain how?
So this is a comic that I didn't know I needed. This is a Western comic, and honestly, it feels like if Red Dead Redemption had a comic book. This is called Bash Rings. It's only got 2 issues so far, and it was written by Kevin Graves. A lot of you guys know him as the guy who created Marvel. He sent me a text while I was on my break. It was like, hey man, I have some indie comics to send over to you. I was like, hot stuff. And this is my favorite out of all of them. So this picks up in Indian territory out in 1875, and you basically have a shootout which being this marshal and some bad guys. We don't really see who they are. All we know is this guy just gets shot to pieces, and his body's brought to his wife, who's also pregnant with one of his kids. You know, most of you guys know from the days of out in the Wild West, essentially, it was the guy's job to go out there and to earn some measure of living. So the question now becomes, what's she going to do to take care of herself and take care of her kids? So that's when you get to a conversation between the judge and the reverend. Because the judge says, I won't lose another law in the reverend. I absolutely won't. And the reverend tells him, that's not your call, judge. That belongs to the Lord above. You know better than that because religion was very much a thing at this point in time. As the judge just said, I'm not to like tribal lands were effectively foreign territories. They don't trust the outsiders and they have no respect for the law. The longer we have, don't even speak their language. And so the question's asked, right? What are we going to do? Are we going to call in more law? The judges ask why? So we can deliver more bad news to more widows. This time has to be different. And this time, we need a new kind of law. So at this point, we switch over to the Louisiana line. We have a handful of guys here. And one asked, how does the bag look? And the guy just says, almost $300. Who says bootlegging doesn't pay? Yeah, something to point out here. This most of you guys are probably aware of, but some of you guys might not be. Bootlegging guys are violating the law. Now, is it a significant law? Not really. But it is a broken law nonetheless, and there's money to be made by cashing in with people who commit crimes. And so as the conversation goes on, in response to the question, who says the money will pay? One of the guys answers anyway. He says no. But nobody says that it doesn't pay. And so the other guy just says, still, if you want to make the big green guys, you have to take big risks. And that's not easy these days. And so the question is asked, what are you talking about? And that's when you're supposed to go into this story, this legend of Bass Reeves. Because the guy who asked the question is seemingly relatively young, somewhat inexperienced, and is getting into this life of crime for the first time. So one of the guys asked, right, like, should I tell him? And he's like, yeah, 100%. Tell him the story. And so one of the guys speaks up and says, it's Old Bass, right? Old Bass Reeves is what they call it. He's a bounty hunter, caught more men than frogs catch flies. And so when one of the guys says, they almost have to kill Bass Reeves like anybody else, another guy chimes in and just says, good luck, right? I heard he's 9 feet tall, coal black, and rides a horse that's ghost white. And he carries these guns, black guns, that look more like cannons with triggers. And one of the guys even says, I heard that there was this bull that got stuck in the mud. And Old Bass took off his shirt, got in the mud, and put the bull on his shoulders, and lifted it back onto dry land. It was a really incredible feat. To be absolutely honest. But again, one of the guys is like, you're lying. And it's just like, no, true story, right? They say that when you hear the whistling, that's Old Bass coming for you. And so at that point, one of the guys is just like, quiet, right? Does anybody hear that? And at that point, they're just going to chalk it up to one of these guys being paranoid. No, you don't hear anything, right? It's just wind, yada, yada, yada. But that's when a song starts playing in, right? Like the world, he beckons to me. Because the fact they're in this volume surrounded by trees, as you guys know, sound ricochets, echoes, it bounces off of things. So they can't figure out where this guy is at. It's a mystery. But then he ends up coming up behind one of them and just says, Holy Spirit's calling. I'm down on my knees. And immediately he turns around and Bass just says, his winnowing fork is in his hand, and he will clear his threshing floor, gather his wheat into the barn, and burning up the chaff with the unquenchable fire. And so he asks, will you be gathered like wheat or burn like chaff? And in that moment, it's a standoff. Right? They're all just looking at him. And no one really knows what to do. It's like that standoff at the end of the good, without the other. And so one of these guys, every ounce of pool, goes to reach for his gun. And in that moment, Bass Reeves lets loose with his shotgun. He doesn't kill the guy, well, at least not directly. He fires off at one of the liquor bottles, which catches fire and sprays fire all over this guy. And so at that point, Bass is just like, I got his answer, reaching for his gun. What about yours? And all 4 other guys put their hands in the air and they give up. And Bass just says, wise choice. And so at that point, you jump over to Fort Smith and you pick back up with the judge. And in this particular instance, the judge is kind of having a bit of an interrogation. Truth to tell, he asks the question, so Mr. Skyward, you are with the Lightfoot. And Skyward says, yes, Your Honor, we're with the Lightfoot Tribal Police. And the judge says, this man was caught bootlegging whiskey. What do you have to say about it? And Lightfoot just says, he is Red Cloud, a senator. Your marshals had no right to arrest him on tribal land. And so the judge responds, well, Mr. Red Cloud, is that true? Are you senator? And Red Cloud just says, I don't speak English. We're speaking a language that the judge can't understand. And the judge just says English, please. But as you turns out, Bass Reeves is in the audience watching all of this. And so Red Cloud ends up turning to Lightfoot and just says, whatever's happened, I try to tell him that I am innocent. And so the judge, kind of confused by this to a degree, because again, he doesn't really speak any of the language. Lightfoot just says, he's senator. We are Choctaw. We do not speak his language. And for the judge, it's frustrating as hell because largely his assumption was that because they look the same, because they're both Native Americans, they must come from the same tribe. Pretty huge assumptions to make, truth to tell. But because there's no real translation that can be offered here, no one has any clue what Red Cloud is saying. And so the judge responds and just says, I'm afraid I have no jurisdiction over the defendant as he is a civil tribesman. But in that moment, Bass Reeves speaks up and just asks, Your Honor. The judge looks at him and just says, who the hell are you? He says, Bass Reeves, Your Honor, not even. And I believe I can be of service. And so at that point, he looks to Red Cloud and he says, the judge wants to know what you did. And Red Cloud says, I tried to tell them that I'm innocent of these charges, but they don't believe me. And that's what Bass says, that's because you're lying. And he says, tell them your name. The guy says, Red Cloud. And Bass just says, tell them your real name. And so Red Cloud, he tries to keep it going. tell him what your real name is, right? Because Bass is about to do this guy hard. If he does not give that right answer, Bass is going to beat the tar out of him. And what does Red Cloud say? Paco Suarez. And so the judge is just like, what in the hell is going on here? And Bass just says, he's no Seminole. He's Mexican. Right? And he says, this guy has been a hell imposter for near about 10 years. He's been bootlegging whiskey for longer than that. He just blends in with Native Americans and hopes no one knows the difference. Which is kind of a genius strategy when you think about it. But at that point, Bass just says, he's on your one and walks away. And so in the midst of this, the judge approaches him because the judge needs a new lawman. Right? And Bass Reeves seems to be the exact guy that he needs. And so the judge asks him, how come I've never heard of you before any of this? And Bass just said, because you don't listen. And I don't make a whole lot of noise. Which is honestly one of the dopest answers that I think I've ever heard to somebody asking that question before. And so the judge just asked, one of these bailiffs told me that you are the fastest gun in 3 states, and you always get your man. And that's just what they lean into. But this guy kind of seems to shy away from it. It's like, well, that's what they say. And so the judge asked him a great question. Is it true? And so that's what Bass just said. The only truth is that there's a Jesus in heaven. His judgment is swift. And when he returns, it will be hell to pay. And so at that moment, the judge picks up on the fact that he's a Christian man. And Bass asks, right, is there any other kind of man out there? And so the judge, being honest with him, right, this says, I'm looking for a man, an honest man, to police the Indian territory. It's bad land of strife and ill repute, where evil men go to hide and pick freely from the poised tree of deviltry and lawlessness, the root of which is selling forbidden whiskey to the local Indian population. Now, what makes this really interesting, again, tying into the real world history, what the judge is describing here is true. So bootlegging, at this point in time, from about the 1850s right up to the 1880s, this 30-year window or so, it wasn't like this gigantic, national network. I guess maybe on some levels it was, but as I understand it, back then, it was just kind of these small groups. That's what made it so difficult to take down, is you weren't going after a national syndicate. It was like one guy running the show. It was just this group here. But if you took out group A, group B would take group A's place all the way down the line until a new group goes up to take somebody else's place. It was effectively an endless war that you could never really defeat. The way this would work is that you would have people in colonial territories where they got moonshine or any number of things, and then they would sell it to bootleggers. Those bootleggers would in turn toss it into their booths, which is where the term bootlegger came from. And then they would just smuggle it into Native American territory. And by and large, due to any number of factors, treaties and what have you, Native American territory was number one, a very dangerous place to go. Because of these violent trees and whatnot, Native Americans were very hostile to colonial settlers. The other reason why is because a lot of these territories were off limits. And because of the nature of these trees, colonial law did not apply to Native American law. They simply just handled things on their own. And so if you were a bootlegger and you managed to get your way into Native American territory, well, number one, you paid your money and took the chances. To be quite honest with you, there's no guarantee you would make it out alive. But number two, if you were able to engage in transactions, if the cops were followed for one reason or another, you could just hang out in Native American territory until the heat died down. And then once the one time took off, you just leave Native American territory, go back out into colonial territory, and do it all over again. This was a whole cycle that went on for years and years and years and years and years. But that's where the bootlegging laws came from. They were designed to crack down on all of this. And that's what the judge is talking about here. Because there were bootleggers out there who were criminals. They wouldn't go to people who were making alcohol. They would just rob caravans and take the alcohol. When you were talking about those frontier lines, right, where colonial territory met Native American territory, sometimes it was a no-man's land. And it could be a dangerous place living on the frontier. That's what the judge is referring to when he talks about the lawlessness of these lands. People who flout the law don't quite care about the consequences and do whatever they want. And so after all of that, the judge says, this man that I'm looking for has to be honest and know how to administer the law as a U.S. Marshal and use a sword to bring order to this land. Are you interested? In response to that, no. Right? And the judge is like, what do you mean? And the answer is just like, let's say it again. No. And so the judge asks him, right, it pays good money, expenses, more stability. And I would have thought that with your background, you jump at the opportunity. And Bass just says, you thought, well, one man's opportunity is another man's burden. Now, this is cool because it means that Bass Reeves is not a soldier of fortune. He's not always changing the point. He's got a moral compass, things that crisis now where the decision cannot keep putting it off. That's, and of course he goes to say grace, let's say amen. But she says, like I was saying, he's a boy, and he wants to be just like his dad. And that says, but he does not need God in order to do that. And her response, maybe if his daddy was around more, he wouldn't need it. But that's what Bass just tells her. I talked to Judge Parker, right, and I told him, I'm not going to go work for him. And he actually ends up revealing here, he's kind of tall. On one hand, he can bring order to these lands. But understand, bringing order to the land also means protecting his family. That's a very important distinction to understand here. It doesn't really seem so much like he just wants to go out there and live a single life of adventure and fighting bad guys and all that kind of stuff. And he doesn't really operate in that way. Instead, again, it's more of this idea that if he can protect his lands, he can keep his family safe. His wife, his son, the rest of his children, they can all grow up to live meaningful and full lives. And his wife doesn't believe that here. She says, I know when you're talking always gets us, but what it means is father is home to be the father that you never had. And I need you here. I'm scared. This is a dangerous place. And that's his response. There's no faith where there's fear. You know that. We are going to get through all of this. Trust me. And so you pick up a week later. And when Bass and his son are at the store getting what tools they need in order to harvest, there's a shootout that happens in Fort Smith. Now, Ricky doesn't get hit. He's not really injured or anything, but he's enamored by it. One of the guys gets gunned down. And he loves the idea of cops and robbers and these guys taking them all into their own head. There's a sense of adventure. And so when Bass grabs his son, he asks him, are you okay? And his son just says, did you see that? Right? They shot him dead, Papa. They shot him dead. And it excites him. And in that moment, Bass cuts him off and says, listen, Benji, glorifying a man's death is never a good thing. But the men who got away, they were bad men. Guns and obeying the law are responsibilities. They are not toys made for your pleasure. Do you understand that? And this is a lesson long in coming. But the lesson about the nature of the law is a byproduct of what's being seen right now. But the lesson about the gun is really based on Benji's acceptance out. Right? Guns are tools. They're not toys. That's something you just wave around looking at me, pointing people and discriminate. You can get a person killed. And that's the lesson that he's trying to teach his son here. And so what ends up happening 2 days after this and witnessing the shootout in his town, Bass cannot avoid the fact that danger is coming too close to home. And so at that point, you switch over to him, taking it over with Judge Parker. And at that point, he is given the title of a U.S. Marshal. And so at that point, you got 3 months later with these 3 guys sitting in a campfire. Right? And one guy's asked, how's the back? And the second guy's just like back and heading. And that's when you find out he's robbed the bank. Right? And that's how they got away with all this cash. And so the first guy looks at one of the other guys and just says, why don't you get us some more coffee? Like you ain't said much since we brought the law. Right? The other's just kind of in here for the last 3 months. I know it's not uncommon, right? But it came to life out west. You found a company running very good and like attracts the life. So when you have a couple of guys out there who are both interested in the life of crime, there's safety in numbers. And so ultimately, you end up banding together. That's how you usually ran into cowboy smaller gangs, things like that. But instead of actually going and getting any coffee, Uncle just says, I'm just waiting. Right? And the first guy's like, for what? And the uncle says, go Bass. I reckon. And the first guy just says, go to Bass Reeves. Right? We are way too deep for that. There's no way that Bass Reeves is coming all the way out here. And so Uncle just says, I guess you're right. Right? That's the most likely scenario, which is good for us. Because now we don't have to worry about the killings. And that's what the second guy says. I heard he smells like a skunk. Right? We'll smell him coming from a mile away. The first guy just says, what do you know about Bass Reeves anyway? And Uncle just says, let me see if I can remember it. His whittling fork is in his hand, and he will clear his threshing floor, gathering his wheat into the barn, and burning up the chaff with unquenchable fire. And that's what the first guy asked, what the hell does that mean? And Uncle looks at him and just says, just something I'd like to say before I ask my usual question. And they ask him, what's that question, Uncle? And he just asks, will you be gathered like wheat or burned like chaff? And takes all 3 of these guys out. Now, before we get into part 2, and I explicitly wanted to wait until the end of the first part to talk about this, one of the coolest things about this comic is based on a real guy. Bass Reeves was real. He was an actual person here in the world, which is why I kept making references to real world history. Kind of my terrible attempt to drop clues. But at this point, we get this kind of narrative about the life and times of Bass when he was operating as a marshal. And we're told every single time. And in the end, they went the way of all flesh that came up against old Mass Reeves. They were mad, but good. Still, there was one name that kept coming up, and every ornery fellow that was as crooked as a coyote's hind leg. And this man would prove to be one of Bass's toughest challenges. Because at that point, we switch over to a Seminole village. And you got two Native Americans who are talking to these bootleggers. And the bootleggers say, that's the best price you're going to get for 5 minutes. And then the Americans tell them, I do not have that much money for your whiskey. The bootlegger just says, the price is what it is. And if you make me go away from here, I don't think that your people are going to like it too much. And so that's where one of the other Native Americans who's kind of sitting on a bench and listening to all of this just says, he will not leave. He has few places to go. The guy's pretending that he has their plan, but the reality here is that it's all just a show. And so one of the Native Americans says, our chief does not think that you want to do that. And this guy just says, you hear that, Hollywood? The guy was just like, yeah, I heard that. And so that's where the bootleggers brought him on this Native American. They say, look here, like, you're going to buy what it is that I'm selling. But you are going to have a little powwow with my little friend here. So at this point, now they're trying to strong arm the Native Americans, trying to force them to buy the whiskey that they're selling. And yeah, there is cause for this. It's not really spoken intentionally, but bootlegging back then wasn't that dissimilar from the drug trade, right? You go out there and you make money. If you come back without money, you have to answer for it. Because most likely that money has to be paid to someone. But even if that's not the case, you paid for the whiskey. If nobody's willing to buy it, you wasted your cash. So there is some individual out there that this bootlegger is working for, or just trying to make money stride out of the frontier. Someone is still going to collect one way or the other. And so that's where this Native American turns and looks back at the chief and says, he wants to raise the price by chief. And the chief gets up and you find out it's Mass Reeves, and he just says, we don't pay for that which is illegal. Better yet, I'll tell him myself. And literally he draws out 2 hatchets and throws these things at these guys. Now, it's not enough to kill them. It just knocks the guns out of their head. And he asks the question, who's your whiskey boss? And this guy just asks, why should I tell you? He says, well, you're going to tell me, lawbreaker, or I'm not going to take you in one piece. I'm going to blow your head smooth off your shoulders. So, give me that guy's name. And that's when this dude picks up and said his name is John Keith. And so at this point, you switch back over to Fort Smith. And you pick up with Benji. Now, this is one of those classic examples of what's effectively peer pressure. Right? Benji's told, we're going to get in trouble. I don't know what to call. Right? And the kids tell him, stop being a assistant. Because clearly they're asking him to do something that he's not necessarily comfortable doing. He just tells them, I'm not a assistant. And so they tell him what pretty much every young man in this position tells some kid who says, I'm not a assistant. Right? And so they actually have Benji go inside the general store and shoplift, which is what they were asking him to do in the first place. And so once he starts to make his way out of the store, the shopkeeper catches him. Now, some people understand about this. This is not as simple as shoplifting. It's not some small thing. When it came to frontier communities like this, they were very tight-knit communities. So it's not walking into a general store and stealing some gun or something like that from somebody. It's like walking into someone's house. It's like walking into your neighbor's house or your friend's house. It's a personal violation. That's what you're talking about here. More so than if it's just a shop, it still feels like a violation. But because the community is so tight knit, you never do anything like this. And so what ends up happening is you switch over to Benji, who's been taken back home by the judge. Now Bass isn't there. His mom's there instead. She just says, I don't know what to say, Judge, but he has never done anything like this before. And that's what Parker just says. I understand now, but it's just that I have seen this kind of thing before. The boy gets it into his head to test his boundaries. He takes dares, challenges, in order to impress his friends and show how much of a man, quote unquote, he is. And so God just says, I wish Bass was here. Bass was good with the boy. He knew exactly what Benji needed. And Parker just says, Bass is a fine example of what a lawman should be and what we all should be, which is why I'm coming to you instead of coming with the boy the way the law requires. Because it would have been harsh. It would have been a harsh punishment. And that's the point that she tries to prove to. And then she kind of goes to apologize. And she says, do you know what would have happened to you if this was the old days? They would have killed you. Right? And she just says, you don't ever take anything that doesn't belong to you that you haven't paid for properly. You understand? Because lessons like this have to be tells him, Benji was caught stealing at the general store. And Gus is pissed off. Right? He's 8 times about it since. Right? He's like, oh, it's clear that he's not. But his wife tells him, she actually calls him down. I told him that you would be disappointed. And Gus says, I'm a lawman. Now, I did not raise a thief. And she says, he knows that. And I know that. But he also misses his dad. And he's doing things like this to get his father's attention. He loves his father so often, and Lord knows, I love his father even more than that. But he's growing up without a father in the house, and without a man to show him the way he should go. Don't be hard. Don't be angry at him for that. Be angry at yourself for not being there. And that is a very important lesson. The reality here is sons need their fathers, so the sons can learn what kind of man they need to become. So long as their father is a great man. But even a young man growing up in a home without a father, the only lessons he's going to learn on what it means to be a man is from his peers, from whatever other male figures he sees out there, and whatever people he believes are worth listening to, based on what he convinces himself as being worth listening to. And so when you have negative role models out there in the world that present themselves as positive role models, well, our young men who don't know any better are going to get swept up in it. And it causes all kinds of problems. They become worse people for it. And that's the fate that would befall Benji because Bass isn't here. And so at that point, we switch over to a conversation between the Reverend and Bass. And this is a really cool conversation as well. Because the Reverend asks him, right, what brings you on? And he just says, why? We're just like a viper, and I've been bit. And the Reverend's like, I know what you're talking about. You got kids. And Bass just said, I'm a lawman. And the Reverend just tells me, right, from what I've heard, you're one of the best, if not the best lawman that's out there. And he says, that's the problem. Bringing the rabble to justice, it comes easy to me. And he says, every time I bring someone in, it's a notch on my crop. It swells me up. And I love the feeling that I can do it. But I don't want this to become an item, like I can't be touched. What if I become some kind of quote unquote chosen when it comes to law enforcement? Because if I reach that status, I know it means that the Lord is coming to make sure that I do not exalt myself. But the bigger point that he's also hitting at here is that with this kind of thing also comes a reputation. And with the reputation comes people looking to challenge it. And so whether he intends to be the guy that people come and try to hunt down or not, someone out there is going to try to be the guy who takes down Bass Reeves. It's already started. But as this rumor spreads further and further, Bass Reeves out there for Smith himself can't be stopped. That whole area is off limits to anybody who wants to move there. They're going to start questioning. They're going to try to make a name for themselves by taking down Bass Reeves. And that's what the Reverend tells them. None of that's true. You do a good thing out there, son. Whatever you do, whether you eat or drink, do it as unto the Lord. Because the reality here is even Jesus said, right? But the Reverend tells them, but I sense there's something else going on with you. And God says, I call my son steal. And the Reverend, in hearing this, just says, young boys do things like that all the time. And the response is that, not my son. My belly says that I'm neglecting all the kids. And I feel like I may be sacrificing them for my own sinful pride of success, which technically he is. And the Reverend tells him, you're a man of integrity and responsibility. People look up to you, including your children. But the response is that, I'm not that good, Reverend. That's what I've been trying to tell you. I am a man who has done terrible things. I am not a person to idolize. I'm not a person to look up to. I try to teach my son these lessons, but the reality is I am trying to teach a good moral compass from a bad place. But this is an important distinction. Everybody screws up. And a lot of people have done very terrible things over the course of their life. But it's never too late to become a better version of yourself. And there's nothing wrong with taking your personal failings and passing it on as moral lessons to other people. It's how parents teach their children to become better versions of themselves. If everybody just beat themselves over the head with their past mistakes and never accepted the fact that that's how they grow, nobody would ever become better. And so the Reverend tells them, I would tell you this to examine yourself, but remember this, he who has begun a good work in you will complete it until the day of Jesus Christ the Lord. yourself to make the right decision. It's about trusting the Lord to work it out in His own time, despite the fact that we are not perfect. That is where you should find your comfort. And so, seemingly, it can go either way. Go spend time with your family. That's what a man is supposed to do. Or continue what you're doing now as a worshiper and do the Lord's work in protecting these lights, protecting the sheep, effectively protecting your flock. Right? And so at that point, we switch over back into the American territory. You got a couple of soldiers that are really starting more escorts than anything else. But seemingly, the forces are just down and chaotic. They're not really being controlled in any real meaningful way. There's a one of the guys, Austin Jackson, guy who's supposed to be steering this in the first place. Jackson doesn't answer. The reason why Jackson doesn't answer is because Jackson's dead. He's been shot full of arrows in this one. But we find out it's a heist. Right? That's when we also find out it's Yaki, the guy who's going after him. Now, this is a protected character, which is to say, not only do you have guards, but you also have access points for pistols to shoot out. The problem with this is that it's a protected character, which is to say, not only do you have guards, you also have access points for pistols to shoot out. The problem with this is that the other guys have dynamite. And they start throwing these sticks of dynamite all over the place. They blow the cart and the horses to smithereens. And Yaki just comes out and says, look for the strong boxes. Right? And the other guy's begs not to come. But Yaki asks the question, do you know who I am? And just opens fire on him, kills him on the spot. And so the second guy, who survived all of this, Yaki just sends him out and just says, you tell everybody who it was that did this. Because this guy is trying to build a reputation for himself. But with that being said, guys, we're going to read this video toward the end. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, drop a like. Thank you all for watching, and I will catch you all later. Peace. There is a comic called Bully Wars, and it's one of the wildest comics, craziest comics that I've ever read, in all the right ways, right? In all the perfect ways. And it's got one of the most wholesome endings that I think I've ever seen for a comic. So, this is written by Scotty Young. It's drawn by Eric Conley, and it takes place in a town called Rottenburg. And literally, the population just says, a bunch, but not too much. We don't even know what that number equates to. But the way we're introduced to this is because Spencer Bernie and they're basically filling this like geek truck, right? This nerd truck. Like Spencer has like 5 math books, right? Bernie uses video games, and really uses reading Black Warrior. Which I'm be honest, that comic smells amazing. But they're basically like every nerd ever, which is kind of awesome. Because Spencer literally grabbed everything that you were supposed to get off the list of things that you need for school. And then when you grab anything, he just shows up empty handed. And he just has like a backpack with just a handful of pencils and maybe some paper in it, or something like that. Here's the thing. Right? And here's when he starts to learn about bullies getting bullied. What we end up learning is that when it comes to the town of Rockville, there are more bullies here than pretty much any other place. And the one that Spencer and them kind of contend with is a kid by the name of Rufus. He shows up chewing gum, spends a lot of it, right in there, he just is plastered in this stuff. And you pick up on it, he's just been with any of these kids since middle school. Right? And it's kind of fun because Spencer's just like, I was hoping that you might give us the first day of high school off. We can ease into things before we get a full bullet. What do you say? And Rufus is like, that's an interesting idea. Let me think it over. You know what? I think you're out of your law. Right? And it's just like, this is going to continue on. Right? This thing in high school doesn't mean things change. Now we've had the bus driver. She's kind of crazy. She's like the bus driver from South Park. Like, these kids are going at each other over and over and over. Rufus is leaving a hard time with Spencer, Edith, Bernie. So the bus driver's just like, let's wrap up the yak, wrap out, wrap to run. So get on, sit down, and shut up. Right? She's clearly had it up to here with all these kids. And so once they're on the bus and they actually get to school, Rufus starts sulking. Right? He was like, yeah, man, the smell of fresh leaves in the morning. He says, look, first day of school is like the first day of prison. And Spencer's like, have you ever been to prison? And Rufus asks him, like, have you ever been to Dips? And it's where the pit first will be flushed. And Spencer's like, yeah, many times, not you. And so Spencer says exactly, which is why I'm surprised you don't remember not to run your mouth. Because it leads to a whole toilet and flushing pit. He says, now, where was I? And he gets like, you're talking about prison. He's like, what about prison? And when he's like, the first day of school is like prison. He's like, oh, yeah, prison. He's like, whatever. Look, the point is, we are not in middle school anymore. This is high school. And that means there's even more of you needs to rule. The first day is the most important because it lets them all know that I'm the one that does the ruling. For example, and then he sees this kid who's just standing over there picking his nose. He's like, this marks the start learn some hard truths. And so at that point, just storms off to go and write this kid. He says, let's see, should I kick things off with a Titus Twister or go straight to big stuff, like a Kyle Conacher or Nathan Dick Natanaka? And he's like, I think I'm going to do something else. But as soon as he does that, Rufus gets snatched up by a bigger guy. And he's like, what do we have here, boys? I believe that this little thing was going to try and bully that poor student. And like these two little issues, I always call them mouse right now. Like, yeah, that's what I saw. And so this guy, she's like, everyone knows that I cannot allow unchecked bullying here at Rockville High. Troy and Puck, who are the English interest, can either of you tell me who thinks they're bigger than the rules in my school? And at that point, Rufus just starts screaming, right? Like, are you kidding me?
All right, so far I was thinking about adding an extra character, but so far I think I like what I have at the moment. I like the detailing, I like the texture. It's not perfect, but it's looking all right. Yeah, it's looking good. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna stop here. I'm gonna end here, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a lovely day.